Stephen A. Williams, president and founder of the creditrepairshop.com. And in today's video, I'm going to talk about something that is very emotional. And don't worry, it's not about me, it's about you. But what I'm going to talk about is how you're handling your money. And I'm going to give you some solutions so you can get to where you want to be in your life. But first, you don't want to be, I already know you don't want to be preached to. You don't want to have like this Uncle Steve or Father Steve or however young or old you are, somebody just trying to beat you down over saying, hey, you got credit and debt issues. You need to learn how to handle your money. All of that stuff. If it was so easy to tell somebody that, you could pick up any book, watch a podcast, YouTube video, anything, and your answers would be solved. Like your problems would be solved. But it's more than just that. And that's why I make these videos. I make them for you. I make them for my family, because I want people to understand that it's not necessarily what it seems like on the surface. And what made me think about doing this video is I was looking back at my life and I was like, somebody did tell me about how to handle money. Somebody did tell me don't get into too much debt. Don't buy all that crap. Don't get all these credit cards and stuff like that. And I had to bump my head. I bumped my head. But they told me what I'm about to tell you. And then when I got to that vibration level of that thought process of you can't be living this way with all of that debt. You are wasting your money. You need to live within your means. You need to look at opportunities to increase your income. When that level of, when my conscious level of thinking got to that, guess what happened? The lessons that I thought those men and women were trying to preach to me, and lessons from my parents trying to preach to me, were right there. I didn't even have to go and learn them. They was right there. And all it was my awareness needed to match. See, there's an old saying that says, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. That's exactly what happened to me. Now, quickly, and then I'm going to get on with what we're going to talk about. And you please like this video. This is some real deal stuff. I was about to say a cuss word. This is real deal. I don't think anybody puts it the way that I put it, because I've experienced it. In really short and quick, and I'm going to move on to what we're going to talk about. In 1994, I was $300,000 in debt, my wife and I. We started a business in 1990. Made that business successful. Within 4 years, we were making over $100,000 a year. Imagine someone in their 20s. I was 24 or 25 years old, 24 years old at that time, making $100,000 a year. What do you think a 24-year-old in 1994 is going to do with $100,000? That's right. We bought everything. Everything. And it ruined my credit. It ruined financially everything. I almost lost my business. But from what people had told me growing up, it's like it matched right at that time. And my wife and I made a decision that we were not going to live that way. And if we didn't make that decision, we wouldn't be married today. I can almost guarantee that, because most families break up not because of all this other outside stuff that people talk about. It's because of the finances. Because when a husband and wife don't get along, they start, and it's over not being able to pay the bill. The wife feels that the husband is not holding up his end of the bargain as a protector, as taking care of the family, bills and all of that stuff. And then the wife has to do extra. And then all of a sudden they looking at each other and they're like, you're not doing your part, you're not doing your part. And guess what they do? They go out and do other things to get their minds off of what they're lacking on what they're supposed to do to maintain their household. And so we made a decision in Christmas of 1994. I guess that's why it came around to me, because Christmas of 1994 is when my wife and I decided that we were going to get out of debt. We were going to do whatever it took. And then later we was going to repair our credit after, because it was destroyed during that process of working our way out of all of that debt. So now, here's the deal though. Let me ask you something. Have you found yourself lying awake at night, staring at the ceiling, your mind racing about how you're going to pay your bills next month? Maybe it's the rent, the electric, unexpected medical bills that come out of nowhere. You're not alone. Millions of people are going through this every day. The truth is, worrying about money isn't just about the dollars and cents. It's about security. It's about freedom. It's about peace of mind. The root of the struggle is, let's get real for a second. It's not just about money itself. It's about what money represents. It's about providing for your family, keeping a roof over your head, and making sure you can give your kids a better life than you had. It's about not having to say, I can't afford it. When you just want to take a day off to breathe, you want to just be able to take a day off to breathe. It's like, hey, but most people with their situation right now, they can't even take a day off. There was riding into work, listening to a radio show on XM radio. The host stated that people are not even taking their vacation days. Not even taking their vacation days because, number one, they're insecure about their job and they're insecure about taking time off. I got a solution for that, and I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. But when there's more month than money, it can feel like you're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulder. You're not just paying bills, you're paying it with your time, your energy, and sometimes with your health. Listen, I've been there. I just described it to you. There was a time that I had to choose between the electric bill and buying groceries. And I did not like that. I remember the sinking feeling in my chest. What if something goes wrong this month? What if I can't handle it? I can tell you that driving back and forth, even though I owned my own business at that time, driving back and forth, it was about an hour drive, back and forth from where I lived at to where I ran my business. And my car was my office. And I remember driving back and forth and like the thoughts that would go through my mind. And there's probably thoughts that are going through your mind right now, and probably thoughts when you on your way to work, on your way back from work, depending on what your situation is like. But here's what I want you to know is that you're doing the best you can. And even if it doesn't feel like it right now, even if you feel like you're barely holding it together, you're still here, still fighting. And that means something. That means something to me. And that was something that I had to come to a realization when I was going through my credit and debt issues, is that I was here. And it became this thought process of, what am I going to do with the time that what am I going to do with the time? Like, am I going to just stay paralyzed, or am I going to do something? Am I going to look for solutions and start working out the problem? And just like I said earlier, I had been told in advance to watch out for this type of stuff happening when I started to work or making money, or, when I started to mature as an adult. And I did not pay attention to it at that time, but I did internalize it, because when I started going through that stuff and made a decision first that we were not going to live that way, it was like a section in my mind. It's like a hard drive file was sitting there, and when I clicked it, all of the stuff that those mentors, family members, parents had told me to watch out for and how to work my way through it opened up in my mind. So there's always hope, and the first step is to stop beating yourself up. It's okay to ask for help, to make a plan, and to take care of things one step at a time. Start small. Maybe setting aside $5 a week for emergencies. Maybe it's reaching out to a friend or family member who can give you advice. Maybe it's even taking a deep breath and reminding yourself that the moment doesn't define your future. And I talked about this a lot in my earlier videos, that the problems that you're going through with your debt, the problems that you're going through with your credit, that does not define you as a person. But for some reason, we internalize that. We think that we are that number. We think that we are bad credit. We think that we are someone who can't manage our finances. That's us. That's not us. That's a condition that we're in. And you can always change the conditions. But the first thing that you got to do to change the conditions is change your mindset. And then going back to just saving $5 a week, I did this with some of my employees for one of my businesses. From time to time, they'll come to me and they'll say, I'm having a hard time saving money. It just seems like when I get paid, I just spend my money. And I would tell them, this is what you need to do. You need to get used to saving money. But the problem is that a lot of people think they got to save if you got to save some money, you got to save a lot of money. I had that feeling. Like, if you're going to save any money, you got to save a lot of money. I'm here to tell you that if you can save a little bit of money, you can save a lot of money. It starts with a little bit of money. When I had told, and I was one particular employee that I could think of, I said, save $5 of your paycheck per week. And then I said, in 2 weeks, that means $10. $10. $10. I said, in 2 weeks, get back with me.
New visitor.
And let me know if you were able to save $10. You know that employee could not save $10. It's not that they couldn't save $10. It was because their mindset was not letting them understand that saving money it can be just a little bit of money, or it can be a lot of money. But really, it has to start with a little bit of money. Because if you can't manage a little bit of money, you will never be able to manage a lot of money. I'm here to attest to that, and you can see movie stars, football players, basketball, sports, even some people that are in huge businesses that came into money could not handle their money because they never learned to handle a small amount of money. People will blow. Money is like a tool that is like water. It will just flow out of your hands or into your hands. And some people, they're so used to when they get their money, they let their money just flow right out, just gone. So my first piece of advice, if you have problems saving money, put away just $5 a week for 2 weeks and see if you can do it. Put it in your purse, put it in your wallet, wherever. Put it there and just see if you can do it. If you can't do it, then you already know that you have a behavior problem with money. If you have to spend that money, you have a behavior problem with money. One of my mentors, Marshall Silver, this is what he had said to do. Said that if you have trouble saving money, because what usually happens is people get into the mindset of struggling to pay their bills. And he had this little technique where he was like, okay, if you struggle to pay your bills, then you make a bill that says savings, but you call it a bill. It's like a trick on your own mind. And then you would just put money in there all the time. Only problem with that is that most people, when they put that money in there, then the next step that the conscious mind makes is that there's going to be things that come into your life that you want, and where is the first place you're going to go look to get that money to go get it. I talk about this story a lot. When I started, the more money I started to make, the more things came to my conscious, to my awareness on, you can afford to get that, you can afford to get this, you can afford to get that. I remember at one time in my because I buy a lot of dress clothes, a lot of dress shirts, and I was looking in my closet and I was like, I have like 10 of the same shirts, same color. Like I had all of these blue shirts, I had all of these white shirts, and I'm a blue and white shirt person. I even got a blue one on right now. And I was like, I got all of these shirts in a row. And then I was looking at my suits, and I had all of these suits, and it was like, you got suits, enough suits for 2 weeks. You got 2 weeks worth of suits that you can wear before sending them to the dry cleaners. And I had sat back and thought, and I was like, do I need all of that? Now, I'm not the type of person that say you shouldn't be getting things. You know, what you want to get is what you want to get with your money. But you have to understand that you have to do it within the reasoning, or you need to do it within your budget amount. Like, have some money to play with each week to do the things you want to do, but also have savings. Also make sure that you don't overextend yourself. So if this message resonates with you, you're not alone. Let's build a community where we can share stories, tips, encourage other people. This is what I really enjoy about YouTube platform, and also if you're watching this on TikTok, where we can talk about how you took control of your finances, how you took control of your credit. Hit the subscribe button, like this video, tell me what you did, the things that you did, so you can help other people who, number one, probably, are not feeling too good about their situation, and also to give some different strategies and techniques that people can use. We're all different, and my strategies and techniques may not feel like they're going to work for someone, or maybe I don't express it the way that makes someone feel that it can work for them, and maybe you have an idea. I talk about my ideas, but I'm always willing to listen to new ideas and techniques on how because it's more about the mental, the strategies and stuff that I give to people, that will work, but it's about what gets that mind to make that turn, to click in your mind, to start to really do something about your credit and debt, and also to start saving and moving forward to be able to have a comfortable retirement. And I'm not talking about having to have a comfortable retirement in your 70s and 80s. I'm talking about to be able to, if you wanted to retire in your 40s or 50s or 30s, whatever you choose. As a matter of fact, I had retired in my 30s. Well, semi-retired. I had worked 2 days a week through my 30s, and then in my 40s, I started really ramping up one of my companies to where I was like, hey, I'm going to get back in there and start to work a little bit harder. But even with that, I was working 3 days a week. And even now, I work technically 3 days a week, but I still come in on Fridays, because I just like to come in and just see how the staff is doing, and to, tighten up on any things that I need to finish up that I didn't do on Monday through Wednesday, and also to clean up my desk, get this desk cleaned up from papers that I might leave laying around. So if you need help with your credit, because everything starts with your credit. If you have good credit, you're going to pay less for the same things that people who pay more for with bad credit. That's already a way for you to save money. Just think, if you didn't have to do anything, you're making the same income, and you were just able to refinance everything that you got to a lower payment, and you start to be able to put that money away. You don't go and spend that money. You put that money away in savings right away. By having good credit, your life is going to start to transform and be able to move you in the direction that you want to move in. So if you need help with your credit, please visit us at thecreditrepairshop.com. Watch video What Makes Us Different, so you can see my 8-point validation process, my 2-phase settlement process. No overnight quick fixes. It's a steady process. We will work with you throughout the whole entire process. Everybody's situation is a little bit different, but we've just about seen them all, and we can get you through it. So go to the website, check it out. If you need your credit reports and scores, go to the website your3scores.com to grab your TransUnion, Equifax, Experian credit reports and all 3 scores. Because you don't know, if you don't know what's on your credit reports, on all 3 credit reports, it's like you don't even have the gas in the vehicle to be able to get started on repairing your credit. If you have debt collectors coming after you, early in the game, grab my 3-pack of letters: statute of limitations letter, debt validation letter, cease and desist collection activities letter. I do ask for a donation on those, but it could save you time, money, and frustration. If you have debt collectors suing you in court, links are below my video. We have a service that can help you with that also. Thank you for your time. Subscribe to the channel, post your questions and comments. This is Stephen A. Williams, President and Founder of thecreditrepairshop.com.